I'm Dimitri Ninios, and this is the Astra Podcast. I'm here with Randy Stanzak, Tim Stezel, and Tom Guest. All right, so we made it out of the group chat. One of the very few, snow missions ever to be recorded to make it out of the group chat. Not only is it a snowboard trip, but it's the Astra Tour. And, of course, with the Astra Tour, we had to do the Astra Pod. So, naturally, we're here.
We're ripping.
Yeah, I got to say, really impressive the way that this came out of the group chat. It was really seamless, almost took no thought. Meter kind of just took the reins, did a lot of the logistical work and just made it easy for us to just show up and have a good time and enjoy it.
We plug and play around here.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I'm not going to lie. I was laying there thinking, this isn't going to happen. I got off the phone with you. 2 weeks went by. I'm like, probably not going to happen. Then all of a sudden, send me the picture of the RV. Are you in? Yes. No hesitation. I'm like, wow, this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second the text came that it was like, boys, the RV's here. Like, this is your portion. I was like, we're doing it. And we didn't have, my wife was like, what's the plan? Like, where are you guys going? What are you doing? And I'm like, it's pretty open right now, but we'll figure it out. And the group that we have right now is super solid for that. It's been fun.
Yeah, I mean, we're a plug and play group. Been tried and tested for over years. The only new tool in our belt is Tim. And flawless.
He's like a little multi-tool.
Yeah, flawless. He's
I've been referred to as a Swiss Army knife in the past, That's what I like to think of it,
That's basically what you are. But yeah, so I mean, we got here. We flew into Utah, picked up the RV. Logistically, we didn't make the best route, but came to Idaho. Then picked up Tom in California. Tim met up with us. Randy met up with us a couple hours shortly after. And then we're on the road. And we went straight up to Mammoth. Bummer, no snow. We had this whole plan to kind of hit Mammoth, June, and Tahoe. And that was going to be like the Icon Tour. Had to pivot out of that plan and go to the Astra Tour. And we just go on our own dime, where we wanted to go, where the snow was. But in lieu of, the preparation that we had going into this trip was walkie-talkies.
Yeah, shout out my wife, Jazz. Christmas time, it was a late gift. She's like, something's coming from Amazon. Like, it's for the trip. Like, I'm not sure if it's going to be good. And I was like, I have no idea.
It could have been anything.
Could have been anything. Crack it open. It was just like cheap $40 set of 3 walkies. And I was like, okay, like maybe we'll use these. Like maybe they'll come in handy. But they saved our asses like 3 or 4 times. We had them on the hill when people get separated. We'll talk a little bit about the snowmobiling that helped us in that situation.
Episode 2.
Yeah, when we had 2 cars, it was sick because, I don't know, 2 guys would take one and one, and we just kind of be chatting back and forth like truckers. It was great.
Truckers in the LCB,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That walkie-talkies saved my life a few times.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
I'd probably still be lost on the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's still room for that.
Yeah, Randy
there's
would
still time for
Randy
it.
would just straight up go rogue, and we'd be like, thank God we have the walkies.
I said I'm gonna go rogue, so I probably need one of those after the first day.
Do we have to air out our code names that we use with the walkies? Maybe, like the kind of the.
We can introduce. Yeah, you
maybe
can go code
maybe
name.
not Tim's. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna take codename Swiss Army. Swiss Army.
Yeah,
we'll switch
I think
Tim's. Yeah. Late.
I don't think mine should be open on the public.
Tim had a special
Behind the
special
paywall,
nickname.
maybe.
We had Randy was Iron Maiden because he's a huge Iron Maiden fan. We found this super sick snowboarding coat when we were at Jackson Hole. So codename Iron Maiden. We got, what was yours, Meter?
Rogue Leader.
Rogue Leader.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, Echo Base is Rogue Leader. We found them. Repeat, I've found them.
Yeah, Tim, you want to shed some light on mine?
Yeah, I mean, I gave Tom a really good one. He was a really crucial part of the team here. I called him Date Boy. He's always handing out dates, making sure the team's energized, getting antioxidants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Dates are a superfood, and Tom's providing it.
Perfect snowboard.
Yeah.
Ski trip.
Great snowboard snack.
But yeah, so, and then in preparation of the trip, we had John Christ hook us up with an associate's discount code with Burton, which is huge. It was like 40% off.
Oh, nice. I didn't know it was John Christ. That's sick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christ.
Yeah, shout out to Christ one time. So we got us the Burton deal, and yeah, I mean, we got what? You got a whole new setup. I got a whole new setup.
I got fully laced up. I got board bindings, boots. I got a pair of pants, some goggles and stuff like that. All new Burton step-ins. It's been like life-changing having the Burton step-ins.
And this is also your first time in like powder.
Oh yeah,
You're from
so
the East Coast.
These guys are talking about Mammoth. I come out to California, go to Mammoth, and they're like, "Yeah, this snow is fucking absolutely terrible. Like, this is not the kind of snow you want to be on." And I'm like, I snowboard on ice every day. Like, if you've ever snowboarded on the East Coast, it's literally like more akin to ice skating than anything else. So going to Mammoth on that day, they were like, "Yeah, this is pretty crappy," and I'm like, I'm stoked. This is the best snow I've ever been in. And like every single day of the trip, it's just gotten better and better and better until we got up here to Idaho and we're in, almost a foot of powder and stuff like that, just shredding. It's like, it's been life-changing. A lot of firsts for me on this trip. A lot of firsts,
That's what the Astra Tour is here to provide.
Yeah.
We're
Big on first.
big on first everything.
First timers.
First RV, first snowmobile, first powder. I mean, the list goes on our firsts. But I think I got 2 new boards, step in, set up, the gear, 3BT battalion board, and we got enough for everyone to share. We're going to get Rainey on a new powder board in the coming days. We're having a snowstorm hit Targhee where we're supposed to get like 8, 9, and 6 inches of snow. So we're like at the halfway point of our trip, but we're about to get into the best part of it for the riding as is concerned.
For those who don't know, I'm riding a 20-year-old board. I think this board's as old as Tim.
Yeah, like me and Rainey have like somewhat old setups. Mine's definitely newer than Rainey's, but like they're talking about their like brand new boards and step-ins. They get off the lift, they're like ready to rip. Me and Rainey are like flopping on our butts trying to.
It's like a generational divide.
Yeah, it is.
Me and Tom.
The future's now, old man.
Yeah.
Me and Rainey are at the back like, oh, my legs, my back.
I'm sorry, Tom. How do you feel? My neck hurts now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so also we have let's see.
Can you talk a bit about Astra and like why, I guess like the point of doing this trip other than like just going and ripping and snowboarding?
Yeah,
Like,
I
what we're doing
mean
with the company.
let's see, the passion behind or the inspiration behind the trip is to kind of show like your passion for life. And what's more, a lot of paintball brands and stuff, they focus so much on like the paintball, rightfully so, but Astra's always been a vessel of ideas that any one of our friend group can kind of hijack and bring these ideas to fruition. With that being said, the passion isn't only in paintball. Like, it's more so about living life and taking risks, taking opportunities, making the most out of it, and being uncomfortable. This is a pretty wild experience for everyone. Taking 2 weeks out of your life to, no real plan.
Being in an RV is somewhat uncomfortable.
The RV, you learn quick about each other and yourself and what your limits are. But that's Astra in a nutshell. I mean, from the tournament to, that was, 3 years ago now that we did?
When
The
was
invitation.
that?
2022, I think.
2022. Yeah.
I think it was something like that. But, I mean, so Rainey and I did that tournament and the whole prep.
Again, another thing that I didn't think would actually play out.
Oh, we make things happen.
Yeah, 6-hour car drive down to Key West, blah, 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 blah. I said, hey, I'll help you, whatever. Boom. Hey, I got the paint. It's happening.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm committed. Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just about putting like one thing into place and just getting the ball rolling and then continuing to keep it going.
For sure.
Yeah, it's
But
been
with
good.
that tournament, I mean, the big, I mean, we could speak on it for a long period of time, but the main point of the tournament was to give people who just don't have opportunities to win in the current landscape of the game that we play,
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
paintball. And tournament paintball has been dominated by 5 or 6 teams for like 30 years. So the whole idea of that tournament was to give people an opportunity to win who don't realistically have an opportunity to win. And bring,
It was taking away our tournaments. We wanted more tournaments.
yeah,
So we wanted more tournaments. So if no one's going to provide them for us, let's provide everybody more tournaments.
Yeah, let's do it
Yep.
ourselves.
So we did it ourselves, and we had a semi-pro team win the tournament. They beat multiple pro teams, the same pro team twice, and they ended up winning $15,000, which is the biggest purse
That's big. Yeah, it's huge.
that we've seen in like a decade.
And they weren't even on the original list to be one of the teams. They were like, okay, teams backed out. I don't want it. No, I don't want to go. Oh, this is going to be a rigged tournament.
Was
All
this-
right, we called them up last minute, and then they win it.
Yeah.
How rigged was that?
Yeah.
Was this Blast Camp who won?
It was Blast
Blast
Camp.
Blast Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that whole thing was to give an experience to people that is hard to come by. And also pretty uncomfortable. It was a similar situation as this, where it was kind of on the spot moment. I'm calling people 4 weeks before the tournament, making sure we get their registration, make sure they're going to show up, make sure they're comfortable with everything.
Yeah, that would have been crazy to set up.
It was a lot, but it was worth it. And we're going to do another one this year. So news alert, shout out. We were surprised. But yeah, the big deal is just, yeah, we'll get into that later.
Just kidding.
We'll get into that later. But, and that's set up the trip. I mean, it was a 3-year-old like vision then, and then we're trying to reinvigorate it, bring more life to it. And we're going to do it starting with this trip.
Yeah, hopefully like an annual thing. Like a cool part of it, talking about like the ethos of the brand, is just like we're going out having fun, doing some sort of adventure, showing off like whatever new products are dropping, and just giving you like some insight into the people behind the brand. Because most brands, it's like you kind of know who does it, you don't really know what they're about. I think that'll be a unique approach in our regard, just to show people like what we get up to, the nonsense outside of paintball, in paintball. Yeah, it's fun.
Not cutting corners. Like I feel like some brands, no offense, but it's like a shakedown.
Yeah.
Like back to that event we ran, like you didn't cut corners on the champagne, on the trophy,
Love.
on the oversized check. Like nothing is about cutting corners. It's doing it the right way.
We want to do it the right way. I mean, we want to do it to the level that you are a customer. If I'm a customer and I'm buying from, no name brand to name brand, I want the experience and I want it to be delivered. I don't want to buy, a top name brand and get poor quality something.
No,
that's not cool. That's
sure.
It's not fair. People work hard for their money and want to experience, or even if it's something as insignificant as a hat.
Yeah.
These things bring feeling to you. And it's really important to deliver that feeling if you want to be a brand who is worth investing your money in, your time, your
100%.
energy.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff that I've gotten from Astra, that like this t-shirt here, I think is like over 2 years old, and it's faded a little bit, but it just looks nice. It holds up great. Like none of the logos or anything are fading off of it. It's just like quality stuff. And I think that's like the take home from it, that we're trying to put out like quality stuff that you're proud to wear, and that's going to last a long time. So
Absolutely
excited for that. All the stuff that hasn't been released yet, I've seen a lot of the blanks, and I'm super excited for it to come out. You guys are going to love it.
I think 2025 is going to be a really great year for Astra, and just for, paintball and the brand itself, like in general. I mean, in multiple different facets, not just the paintball side of it, but I think a lot of people in different kinds of walks of life can really appreciate what Astra's doing,
Yeah, we're trying. That's the one thing we can guarantee. We're going to try to deliver something that you're proud to wear, proud to be a part of, and that's really what it is. Like, we're calling it a brand, but it's so much like, as weird as it is to say, it's truly like a vessel of ideas. Like if Tom, Rainey, or Tim, TJ, Ryan Brandt, any of these guys come to me and say, I got an idea for this, it's like, if we can make it happen, let's try to make it happen. So much is left to talk and like conversations that hold potential but disappear into the ether. And if there's one thing we can do with this brand, we can bring product, idea, schemes of tournaments, whatever, to life. And that's what the brand is. People always ask what's going on, but that's what it is.
Yeah, I think like some of the things that we've talked about starting up in the future, coming soon, like Discords and things, will like create an outlet to build our community and to get even more ideas. Like we usually just kind of brainstorm within our circle, and like you were saying, people like Ryan Brand and our friends. But if we can kind of build that community and like just directly get information from our customers, from our fans, like we want this sort of product, or like we love this, but if you change that, it'd be great. Like it'll be exciting to be able to do that and just kind of pull from everyone and find out like what people in the community want to wear. And yeah, it'll be neat. And like you were saying before, like I feel like the paintball industry as a whole lacks brands that you're like confident and comfortable wearing outside of the field.
Yeah.
Like super big logos, stuff that just screams like paintball. And like there's a time and place to wear that, but this brand I think is kind of more going for something a little bit more subtle that doesn't scream that. It isn't as loud and in your face, which personally I love. So,
yeah, but it's where we're rooted. You know, it's like it's a Quicksilver, it's a Ruvka, it's it's a Woozy, it's a Wazzy. But enough about the brand. Let's get into. I mean, where you guys want to go? We want to talk about paintball. We want to talk about.
Dude, let's talk about a little bit about this trip, and then we'll get a little loose in the paintball stuff.
Cool.
So we talked a little bit about starting off. Do you want to talk about like how like your process with the RV, because you picked it up like 2 days before you even met us? How'd that go?
Yeah. you learn. Oh man, the RV experience.
The
So
wind.
you really learn if you're an RV guy or you're not. I'll tell you that right now.
Pretty quick.
I felt like I was buying one of the more luxury options.
Pictures look like it.
The Integra.
Pictures
I mean, it looks incredible on the outside. Yeah.
looks great on the outside. Pictures may have been just a couple years old, but I looked at the year of the RV. It's a 2019. I'm like, how bad could it be? It wasn't that bad. It just wasn't
That great.
It wasn't a Maybach or anything, but the seats were a little
Yeah,
cooked.
there was no stars in the roof to be confirmed.
I mean, I'm a big bidet guy, and like it didn't have that. I don't know.
No, yeah.
They had some kind of cabinet in the bathroom though. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did have a nice
They
cabinet.
had a nice wine cabinet in the bathroom that we accessed a lot.
But yeah, we picked it up. They delivered it to the wrong airport. Had to get an Uber an hour away to pick up this RV.
Yeah.
So that was like the first red flag. And then got to the RV. I'm like, exterior looks good. Open it up. Driver's seat, passenger seat cooked. Just like looked like it dried leather for I don't know.
It was like your grandfather's chair that he sat in for like 20 years. But
yeah.
Despite its look, those things were quite.
Those were the best
comfortable.
seats.
They're incredibly comfortable. So it's like you take a point off, but you add a point.
Yeah.
So it's a tough deal. But driving it out of the airport, man, I was petrified because it's wobbling. It's 29 feet. It's
loud.
an Integra Odyssey.
It's
I mean,
wide.
it is the name.
Yeah,
it's
just watching you fucking drive that thing was like it's a learning experience in and of itself. You're just white knuckling this thing. It's shaking, the wind's blowing, everything.
yeah.
like-
We're catching every bit of wind.
Yeah.
But then so drove to Idaho. Who cares? Then drove from California to California, which was
Dude, how long was the drive?
it was like a 16-hour
Yeah, there we go.
drive
This is
straight.
by himself, solo. Yeah.
Just pure adrenaline.
Just through
just
the,
the
night,
entire
just
time.
white knuckling
Just
through the
living off
desert.
yerba and
yeah. This is a good time to request sponsorship from Yerba, though.
Yeah. What about Zins? Yerba and Zins for me, at least.
I was nicotine free until this trip.
I'm sorry, I'm a bad influence.
Through proxy of Tom, I may have picked up a new habit, but
yeah. I was yerba
It's
free
healthy,
before
though.
this trip.
Yeah.
And now this is probably 35 right
Astra
here.
Tour is a first for many, and also
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs. Ups and downs.
Yeah, so he drives through the night, like a madman. We're all like, okay, he's doing this crazy adventure. I'm in LA. I had a practice with the Ironman guys for a few days before, so I've been out here for some time. Picks me up. We drive to the airport. We pick up Tim.
yeah, I flew from New York, direct flight from JFK to LAX, straight in. Met up right with the boys, and seeing this huge van pull up right outside the the arrivals section at the airport. Was
navigating
insane.
the 30-footer in LAX was
yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
good time.
I call him up. I go, "Hey, where are you guys?" He goes, "We're in the 45-foot van outside. You should be able to see us."
Yeah. So we get Timmy. We get Rainey shortly after.
Yeah, I took the train up to Union Station.
Dude,
I
talk
watched
about
you
the
guys
guy.
pull in, and it reminded me of, for anyone who's seen Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
The brother-in-law shows up at the RV. I'm like,
Degenerate.
Clark
all right,
Griswold,
here
shout
we
out to
go.
him.
This is going to be an interesting
Did
time.
you have like an interesting interaction at
Oh
the
my
train
God.
station?
Yeah, I don't.
I feel like
That might be for the Patreon.
yeah, we can say it behind the paywall, but we'll get the story out of him one way or the other.
Yeah.
he met a fan at the train station,
Said I had pretty
moved
eyes.
on. And then we moved on. So I think we ripped like a 5-hour drive from there to Mammoth. That night,
Mammoth,
is that
yeah.
right?
Got to the first Airbnb.
Yeah.
That was nice.
How'd we get in there?
Oh my God.
Well, the funny thing about the RV is it has its limitations.
Yeah, like we all do.
Yeah, like we all do. And incline, not so great.
No. maybe
Decline, really not so good. But I think it was like midnight by the time we rolled up
It was-
into
yeah.
the...
Yeah, pretty late.
Yeah, so we pull up at like 1 a.m., midnight, and one way or the other, we're getting this damn thing in there. We see the driveway. You think you got something until you don't. We cleared probably 3/4 of it until our rear end just absolutely bottomed out.
hammers.
Like shook the thing. I thought it was a can opener to the side. I thought we had like
Yeah.
a full like gash in the side of our RV. Luckily, it wasn't that. We just scraped bottom incredibly hard.
Everyone just like went like silent. Like it hit so hard and so loud that like we're all just like, oh no.
Yeah,
Like,
and we got this
day
on
one.
video, right?
Yeah, we got this on video, like day one.
We'll put that in the
Yeah, we also have like I've been filming like the whole trip. We've got GoPros, drones, 360 cameras, just a handheld camera to try and like document all this madness. So a lot of stuff we're talking about, you'll be able to see
get
it.
visuals.
You'll be able to see it in 4K.
But yeah, and then we had the Airbnb was stellar.
Yeah,
Then we
great
had
spot.
a great first snow day on Mammoth, even with the limited snow. Then
Oh no, yeah. After that, it brings us
Oh.
to Kevin.
Yes, we got to talk about
It
Kevin.
started
there. This is
Journey.
where we forgot about
and,
Kevin.
like,
my mistake.
We're
No,
jumping
that's the
ahead.
best part of the
And
trip.
going-
Don't
Yeah,
leave him
my
out.
mistake.
I feel like as we go through it too, like we'll be talking about a score. We looked at that like first hit as kind of like a -1 when we smacked it. So we'll be kind of like tallying up the store.
There's
the
obstacles
score
along
as
the
we go through.
journey, right? And it's about overcoming them, right? But sometimes the
I think we're
universe
up.
gets ahead of
We're
you.
still up right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've had
we're
some-
massively up.
We're massively
We're
up.
way up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been some incidents.
But so yeah, we hit we hit Mammoth, and on our way back, we may have taken a wrong turn or two,
Yeah.
maybe a
Several,
little
yeah.
too,
We were trying to
We had
extract the
fun.
most out of the day, right? So we're
Yeah.
like taking every lift we can, and we're thinking, all right, if we finish on this side of the mountain, we should end up right where our spot is here to walk back to the Airbnb. We did not do that. They closed the lift. We're like, fuck, we don't really know where we are right now.
Yeah, we had
Let's
a couple
just-
beers too.
Had a couple beers, you know what I mean? We were moving and grooving up there on the mountain. So got off, started walking, and basically just ended up on a road and just Tom just put the thumb out. Like any good
I had a
Canadian
couple
would do.
beers. I was tired. We've been boarding all day, and I'm just like walking there, thumb out, like my arm's tired, but I'm like confident. I'm confident that someone's gonna pick us up. We're in a snowboard town, 4 young lads, just out of our luck that someone would help us, and then we met Kevin.
sure enough, our
Shout out
savior.
to him.
Yeah, who wants to talk about Kevin?
Well, Meter was the closest to him.
Yeah, I
and
can
that's-
give
so
I can
let's
give the
him
first couple.
How like in depth do we want to get about the story?
I mean, we can
We air it all out.
we can just say
Kevin got crazy.
I mean, yeah, we can always bleep out what we don't want in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, the first moments of meeting Kevin, great guy from initial looks of it, nice truck,
Yeah, big pickup.
big pickup. We come in, he says, "Yeah, I've been drinking all day. I don't mind picking you guys up." That was our first, at least my first.
Me and Tim are already in the back.
I'm in
Yeah.
the back before these guys even get in, and he's got like open container, sipping it.
He's got a beer
in
and a koozie.
Yeah, ready to go.
Meter, I looked at Meter
loaded.
like, because he's like, hey, one of you guys gonna sit in the middle, and I'm like, I looked at Meter like, that's you, Meter.
And-
I'd walk.
And Kevin says,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin says, whoever's
Kevin
in
was
the
a
middle-
humorous guy.
Yeah,
I'll just
whoever's
say
in the
that.
middle's got to help me out.
Kevin's the kind of guy who likes to have fun.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
fun we had.
so
But,
Kevin drives us back, and the only reason we kind of stayed and committed to it because it was like a 25-minute walk, but like by car it was like 5 minutes, if
Right.
that. So we're like, okay, this is a bad idea, but
I don't want to walk in.
Yeah, we'll be
snowboard
out of
boots.
this. We'll be out of this soon.
Yeah.
Hey, he's asking us to come back to his place and party. We're just getting like trapped in the basement vibes from him.
Yeah.
And luckily we made it. We made it home. Made it home safe.
The best is what he asked. Does anybody want to come back and have a beer? And no one said yes. No one said no. It was
Me,
just
me
a
and
good
Timmy are in the
solid
back
3
looking at
seconds
each other
of
like
quietness.
Maybe.
We looked at Meter. I think we got to get back right now.
Tom
Yeah.
wanted to, low key. Tom actually wanted to.
There was part of me that I knew was a terrible idea, but I'm like, this could be
For the lore, it
this
would have been
could be
great.
great.
Yeah, it would have been great for the
But
lore.
we
Laura would have been good. It's
would've
just
been-
this guy's life trajectory
Oh,
was on the down end.
We'd
We don't
be-
need to spend our
we'd
time.
be
Nothing,
Like,
nothing
day
about
2,
this
we don't
guy
need
was
to-
Astra.
No.
We don't need to bring him in.
Besides picking us up on the side of the road, nothing about this dude was very Astra.
He asked-
there.
No.
Yeah,
He
not
did
so
offer you a
Astra.
cigarette though. That's chill.
Yeah, it was very chill of him, but I've
offered a
I've
few
since
things.
then quit a long time ago.
Yeah. So we made it back. We kind of rested up, and then we had another day at. Did we do 2 days of Mammoth? We just did one.
We did like 1.5.
We did 1.5, and then the next morning is when we kind of. So we had came up that big slope that we smoked into with the RV on the way there, and the only way out was either to grind it again or like go down this like 40-foot ice ramp.
Frozen over decline.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
steep.
exit.
Like
Yeah.
just straight down, and you had to like pick left or right.
Just
essentially-
walking was a death trap.
Essentially
Yeah.
a U-shaped driveway like this, and we're at the top of this U, slope over here, slope over here. One's covered in ice, and the other one is so steep that we're gonna scrape it no matter what. So we kind of had to pick our poison, and we chose the ice slide.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but Timmy's genius pulls out the shovel, starts getting dirt from who knows where, and like covering the ice slide with dirt. which it helped a little bit.
I think it just showed our path
Oh
of
my
sliding.
gosh.
I don't know if it
Yeah,
actually
I
gained
don't
traction.
think
It was more for peace of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Meter hops in and like we've been planning this out for a while. He like sends it down the ramp and like we're just all like kind of like tense watching the RV, like wheels locked on an angle, just sliding down this ice ramp. But we made it out. And
Tires
then that was a
sideways.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
yeah,
a point
brake
for us.
locked immediately.
We were 1-1.
Us versus the universe, we won that one.
We were 1-1 at that point.
we're
If
good.
we went with Kevin, we would have been down 1.
yeah, for sure. We would have been down 2 or 3 with them.
Yeah, it would probably would have lost the game, but we didn't, and we made it out, and then we continued our journey eastward.
We headed east. We just decided to kind of rip it through the night to get to the good snow here in Idaho. And then on the way, we needed to pick up a couple of things for the podcast, stopped in a music store. And I ended up buying a guitar on a whim.
Yeah, great purchase. Probably the best purchase of the whole trip.
Probably the best. Yeah, which made it really fun in the RV. We were just singing songs, having a good time, playing some poker.
Just so you know, these dudes can sing. Like
Me and Timmy
legit,
might-
actually.
We did.
can
I
sing.
wish we got that on video because you were like getting dog food for pee, and like Rainey's just in the passenger seat of the RV, and Tom's just like ripping whatever, and like I'm just harmonizing with him. We're singing Zach Bryan and shit. It was a good
Beautiful.
time.
Yeah, we might pivot.
They're apologizing
play
for their
paintball a
voices,
little
and
more.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
so if you guys don't
you
see
can
us
make
on the
an album.
paintball circuit in the
Okay.
next couple of years, just know we're on stage somewhere, ripping
Yeah,
it.
keep an eye out for us on TikTok. We'll be on Spotify soon. Yeah, so we did that, and then where does that bring us? We drove here, and what else
Jackson.
happened?
we had a nice little pit stop at that gas station. You guys, nice little sleep session in the van.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some
that
people
was
can
really
sleep
rugged.
well in the
Talking about
RV,
Peter's
and some of
maniac
us
driving.
couldn't sleep well.
Yeah, another big point of what makes you an RV guy and what doesn't. I slept like 2 hours, and Rainey shared that misery with me.
Yeah.
And
Me and Tom are cuddled up in the back.
They were
and
out the
pee.
whole time, 12 hours, nothing. Meter fired the van up, drove another
I think
few
I got
hours. They're
6.
still back there catching Z's.
yeah,
I got a nice like 6 hours in the back. Like me and Tim were in the back in this little cozy area, and then like Penelope, Meter's dog, hopped up, and she was like a space heater for us,
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
just snoring in the back, mouth breathing.
Because believe it or not, it is cold as hell at night in that RV.
And that's
For
why
sure.
we like
Really
didn't
is.
stay in it, because it wasn't like we could have did some RV parks and plugged it in, but like the limit to the heater, like we couldn't run it super long. So it's like you'd have to run it for a bit. It would get super hot, and then you'd freeze, and someone would kind of have to be on it. So that's kind of why like we opted out of the.
Plus, the side didn't go out, which was supposed
Oh, yeah.
to.
yeah, we didn't have our full capacity.
No,
So I'm
Technical
sleeping on a
difficulty in the
couch
RV.
that's about 3-4 feet long. Probably one of the most uncomfortable things I've slept on. Just rotating every couple hours, waiting for the RV to start up.
Honestly, the primo spot in the RV was above the driver's section.
Except that was the most cold spot.
Yeah, for sure.
and the most dangerous when you're going over bumps, sending you into the roof.
You're basically riding above the cab of the driving like part of the car,
I did that.
and it's just tossing you around. Every time you hit a bump or the wind's blowing, it's a little sketchy up there for sure.
But
I
it had
was
nice
riding
views.
I was riding the
great
roof through the desert.
Yeah. Going through the desert was actually sweet because if you laid down in that top section of the cab, there's like this little curved window, and you could just have you could lay on your back and like look up at the stars. There's zero light pollution. It's like beautiful to be able to see.
But
that.
before we even made it to that sleep point, we hit the hot springs.
Oh yeah, we forgot about
Did
the
I
hot
do
springs.
that? Was that part
We
of
le-
that?
yeah,
day?
That was right
Mammoth.
after Mammoth. We were still in
Yeah.
Mammoth. Fuck, we
Hot
forgot about.
springs.
The
I mean,
hot
this is
springs.
like day like 14 or something.
Yeah, we're
that we're on.
kinda-
It's
We
all
were
kind of
recording
blending
this-
into one. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we did stop at an incredible hot springs right outside of Mammoth, where we had another like magical enchantment, if you will.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And we had to battle more terrain
yeah,
with the RV.
Yeah, so like if you've seen Breaking Bad, like
Yeah.
when Walt and Jesse go out in the back country to cook up, that's like where we were driving. Like just these super sketchy, bumpy roads with this RV that is not at all meant for it. I ended up coming out, I think, to like get a shot with the camera, and then decided to like climb on top of the RV and ride that, like the very top on the roof. That was a blast.
genuinely
sketchy.
worried for your safety.
Could
on
have
that.
again.
yeah,
Could have.
all concerned.
I had to go check out the window, and I
lost the
thought
point.
Tom's hanging on there's like a ladder on the back of the RV. I thought he's hanging on that, so I check out the window. I go, boys, I think we lost Tom. He's
No,
not on the
it's good.
ladder.
I was up
He's
top.
on the top of this RV. and it's just like the bumpiest road getting tossed
Yeah,
around.
cruising 30 on off-road terrain.
And honestly, it's probably better you're on the roof than the ladder because the ladder was like barely welded on,
yeah.
and every time somebody went up, you could just see this thing wanting to give.
The ladder looked like it was held on by
me, and I was
caulk.
like hugging on to like some piece of plastic that was loose and flopping. around,
Yeah,
just
the
laughing.
AC unit
It was
probably.
funny. It could have been bad, but yeah, we like go down this like single lane road, and you can't turn off because it's kind of like protected area. So then we get to the spring area, and there's a steep hill with like a ton of like big divots and grooves.
Now these are like potholes. These are like
Yes.
deep,
Like a
deep
foot or two?
potholes. Yeah, huge.
At least a foot. And just the way the RV was set up, we didn't have the suspension for this.
No, we didn't get
So
the
we-
off-road kit.
No, yeah, we didn't do the off-road upgrade. So
we'll
we had
splurge
to
next year.
We just had to MacGyver the situation, throw some stones out there.
Dude, these things, yeah, big stones. We were piling them up.
Yeah.
10, 15 teamwork, filled this pothole,
Even a
rocked
random
over
came
it.
and helped us because they were scared that
He
we would
yeah,
get stuck.
He
And if
just
we got
dropped
stuck.
pebbles on it, but yeah.
We were
everybody
basically
that was at
blocking it.
the spring would
we
have
were
been
gambling.
Yeah. That would be a good move.
If we get
Yeah.
stuck, no one gets out.
Exactly.
exactly.
So somebody's like, you know what? I'm going to help these delinquents over here real quick.
Yeah.
Great thing about it though is we really showed up with perfect timing. Once we solved that situation,
Yeah.
made it over that that roadblock there, everybody kind of cleared out, and we basically had the spring to ourselves, which was like incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it was breathtaking for sure.
Yeah, the spring was like in this like big valley spot in the middle of the desert. Like all around you are mountains, and it was just like the perfect day. And the spring was this just a little hole in the ground, like surrounded by rocks that somebody had made. And there's a little tap that you turn on the water, which is like scalding hot, like insanely hot.
Thank God for that guy that kind of gave us a tutorial because we really didn't have any clue what we
Yeah,
were
the
doing.
spring
there.
wizard appeared and told us how the
Thank
whole
God
thing
for that
works.
guy.
There was a guy just by himself, and he was like, "Oh, you guys are coming in. I'll hop out." And he just gave us the rundown, and like without him, I
Yeah.
don't know what we would have
Gave
done.
us the rundown,
hidden-
gave us some supplies,
Yeah.
and just disappeared. Like he's
He
a little
wished us
fairy.
well on our journey and gave us
Yeah.
some blessings, and it was great.
Shout out that guy. Never got his name.
We
But yeah.
didn't get his name, but yeah.
Yeah, we just chilled there for a bit, soaked. We ran over to this like mud pit spot. This one guy was like, "Hey, you guys can we run naked over there all the time and jump in the water and come back." We're like, "No, like
Yeah.
we're good. We'll keep our clothes on." but
Typical
we'll check it out."
California dude.
So yeah, we splashed around in the stinky mud for a while. That wasn't really a good recommendation, and then we got out of there. And
Yeah,
that's
got
when
some splinters with it too.
yeah, we're gonna get some bad splinters, and then we got out of there and did another like 5-6 hours. Shout out Meter for driving like 20
Covered in this nice mud, and some clean water.
Yeah,
just for the next
we were like
10
dirty
hours.
from the spring still, and
mud
just did a
remained.
10-hour drive through the deserts of
The
Nevada.
goop scoop is good for you.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we need to take away
A
from
little
that.
bit of goop was great.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit of goop scoop.
But I mean, that was like the first couple days of this trip, and here we are at the halfway point. I think we saved the rest for the next epi.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we hit up a couple more mountains, did a few other adventures, got stuck a few times, got into some trouble, but we
More battles.
survived. A couple more battles. We're up. So yeah, I guess thanks for listening, and stay tuned for the next one.